Hey Lacrosse fans, my name's Olivia Becker and I am joined by Patrick Strawn. We are here at the men's lacrosse fields and we are about to get started with season.
Yeah, we are. It should be a good season, especially with a lot of expectations for this Flames team.
Yes, and we are going to start off talking about the Flames are ranked 6th in the nation right now, and it's actually the highest they've ever been ranked so far. How is that going to affect their confidence going into season?
Well, I think it's going to help give them confidence going into the season. I mean, last year they had a really good year, especially making their first ever MCLA national tournament, and then not only were able to make the tournament, but they had success there. You win your first game, making you get into the quarterfinals, and then you're one overtime goal away from making it to the Final Four, and just your first time ever making there in an at-large bid. So I think that's huge for them because they took the national runner-up in Chapman, who's currently tied for #1 ranking, to the brink of overtime, giving them one of the toughest games. I think that's going to be huge, bringing a lot of guys with that national experience, know what it's like to get there, and they definitely want to be able to find a way to get there again this season.
And with their confidence, I think they're really going to need that this year with their schedule being pretty difficult. They are playing a large amount of ranked teams this year. Talk a little bit about their schedule and the difficulty with that.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about a large amount of teams that they're going to be playing ranked, I mean, you take a look at it, 9 of them are considered in the top 30 of all the MCLA, so 28th are better. UConn, the one team that is the lowest on that totem pole, they're sitting at 28th currently as they're still receiving votes, but that's not going to be a gimme game for the Flames because we know the last 2 years, that's been the team that's given the Flames the most troubles. Flames get up big on them, and then somehow UConn just comes back and they're able to take the dub away from them. But I mean, a lot of good teams in this schedule that they have coming up. You got Clemson, you got Virginia Tech, the defending champs from Michigan State, Davenport, Minnesota for the midnight game. I mean, just going throughout the whole schedule, there's not really going to be any gimme games for the Flames this year, and I think that will help give them that bid and confidence, especially if they're able to play well consistently, which we all know they can with all the playmakers they're returning. I think that'll kind of set them up for having a very special season.
And you touched a little bit on returners with this team. This year, Lacrosse has 3 big changes to their rules, one of them being an 80-second shot clock.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to affect the game this year?
I think for the team, I think that they don't feel like it's going to affect the game too much. You take a look at, I think when some teams start getting ahead, they like to try to kill the ball, and they're able to just own the offensive zone possession and then just passing the ball around, winding down that clock. I think the 80-second shot clock will really force a lot of teams to change a little bit of their game plan to a certain extent, including the Flames. I think sometimes when they get ahead, they might do the same thing. But I think as a whole, the guys were able to be okay with not only that rule, but diving in the crease as well as the small substitution box that you see on the sideline. And when they played some of their fall games this season, the Flames were able to adapt to those new rules and had success. They were able to go undefeated in fall. Obviously, fall ball is way different than when it gets big time, which we're about to have. But if you're able to implement those games when everyone's a little bit more casual and relaxed and not really have any infractions or any miscues during that, it's going to bode well for you going into the season because it becomes almost now ingrained into your system, and also preparing the guys to get ready for the year with the new rules.
Right, and this Saturday, they are taking on UCF.
Yes.
It is the first time that they have ever played UCF or they've even come to Liberty's campus. What should they expect going into this game?
Well, I think for UCF, they're a bit of an unknown when it comes to, at least for the Flames, but this is still a good team finishing last year 8-3, just missed out on qualifying for the SCLC tournament. I mean, they're a team that's definitely going to be making that push once again to try to be able to get in the SCLC tournament, and they definitely are able to if they're able to be in the top 2 of their region, finishing 3rd. So I think their Flames are going to see a team that's very well balanced. I mean, this is a team that does a good job of not only playing the ball well defensively, but also they have a knack of putting the ball in the back of the net. So if they're able to use their traits, so as far as the Flames go, so use a lot of their speed, let those playmakers do what they've been able to do over their last couple of years, especially since a lot of them now are seniors and juniors, I think that will help with them and just let their experience take over the game and open the season outright, play the game the way you know how to play and not trying to get too fancy. I think it'll bode well for the Flames, but it should be a really good start to their season, a good, tough matchup for them.
Great. Well, Pat, thank you for your insight. Make sure you guys tune into the game on Saturday at 3 p.m. And for everything else Liberty Club sports related or Liberty Lacrosse related, tune into all of our social media. For Patrick Strawn, I'm Olivia Becker.